the change that transformed my life. Congratulations! You're in the right place to finally transform your body and your life for good. And how do I know that? Because I've been exactly where you are right now. I know what it's like to try everything, crazy diets, cutting out foods, working out like crazy, only to end up in the same place or worse, gaining all the weight back. For years, I lived through the yo-yo effect. I would lose weight, push myself to the limit, and just when I thought I had finally made it, the pounds would come back. And every time it happened, the frustration grew. I felt defeated, hopeless, and exhausted. To make things worse, I was already 40 years old, and I kept hearing that metabolism slows down, and losing weight after 40 is nearly impossible. I could have accepted that as my reality, but something inside me told me there had to be a different way. That's when I activated my nerd side and decided to decode what actually works for weight loss, and more importantly, how to never gain the weight back. I dove deep into research. I read books on habits, neuroscience, metabolism, nutrition, sleep, and the psychology of weight loss. And I discovered 7 keys that changed everything for me. Key 1. The power of habits. The first major breakthrough happened when I read the sentence, "If you're overweight, it's because you have bad habits." That sentence hit me like a punch in the gut. But instead of playing the victim, I stopped to reflect. And that's when I started studying the power of habits. I learned that our brain is programmed to save energy. This means it creates automatic habits to avoid conscious effort. If something becomes a habit, you do it without even thinking. If something relies on willpower, you struggle to maintain it. And that's when I realized the big mistake I was making. I was trying to force weight loss without changing my habits. So I started observing naturally slim people. I asked one of them, "Why do you eat so many fruits and vegetables?" Their answer was simple. "I've always eaten them since I was a kid. It's just part of my day." I asked another person, "Why do you work out every day?" And they said, "If I don't work out, my day feels weird. I'm just used to it. It's part of my routine." That's when everything clicked. I was trapped in bad habits, while these people had already built effortless, healthy habits. If I wanted a lean, healthy body without constant struggle, I needed to build new habits, naturally. So I started implementing one healthy habit at a time, little by little. And that's exactly what you learn inside the protocol. Key 2. The sleep secret for weight loss. The second game-changing discovery was realizing that your body regulates metabolism and burns fat while you sleep. If you sleep poorly, your body produces more ghrelin, the hunger hormone. Your metabolism slows down. You crave more sugar and carbs. In other words, bad sleep was sabotaging my results. I struggled with insomnia and had no idea it was causing me to gain weight. So I started applying techniques to improve my sleep. I adjusted my nighttime routine. I started having dinner earlier. I began taking natural supplements and herbal teas to relax. The results? My hunger dropped drastically. My energy levels skyrocketed. My body started responding naturally. It was liberating to realize that I didn't need to train like crazy. I just needed to sleep better. Key 3. Physiological fasting. I had always heard about intermittent fasting, but fasting for 16 or 24 hours sounded impossible. Until I discovered something called physiological fasting. This type of fasting happens naturally in our bodies. You only need 12 hours without eating for your metabolism to reset itself. And the best part? If you have dinner at 6 or 7 p.m. and then have breakfast at 6 or 7 a.m., you're already doing physiological fasting without effort. Since you're asleep most of the time, you don't even feel hungry. By the time you wake up ready for breakfast, your fasting period is over. I started doing this and noticed. I woke up feeling lighter and less bloated. My digestion and gut health improved. My hunger throughout the day decreased. I started losing weight effortlessly simply because I was naturally reducing my calorie intake. Key 4. Learning how to eat. One of the most liberating realizations was that I never needed another diet again. I didn't need to cut carbs, count calories, avoid foods I love. I only needed to learn how to eat properly. I realized I was eating too many carbs and not enough protein. I learned to balance my meals with better food combinations. Eating slowly helped me feel full sooner and stop overeating. And that's how I never needed a diet again. And you'll learn exactly how to do this in phase 2 of the protocol. Key 5. Setting realistic goals. I used to set impossible goals. I need to lose 10 kilograms, 22 pounds in 1 month. I'm going to work out every single day without fail. I will never eat sugar again. But all that did was frustrate me and make me give up at the first obstacle. This time, I did it differently. In the first month, I focused on losing 3 kilograms, 6 pounds, and eating more protein. In the second month, I prioritized improving my sleep. In the third month, I chose a physical activity I enjoyed and started slowly. Small goals lead to big changes. And now, I'm going to teach you how to set realistic goals so you can finally achieve lasting weight loss. Key 6. Reprogramming the mind. If I had kept telling myself, I can't lose weight. My metabolism is slow because I'm over 40. Every time I lose weight, I gain it all back. Then my body would have believed it and sabotaged every attempt. So I had to reprogram my mind. I started listening to affirmations and guided meditations daily. Little by little, my thoughts and subconscious mind began to shift. That's why one of the bonuses in this protocol includes powerful audio sessions to help you break free from limiting beliefs that are deeply ingrained in your conscious and subconscious mind. This will accelerate your results like never before. Key 7. Life works in cycles. If there's one thing I've learned on this journey, it's that life isn't a straight line. And neither is weight loss. For years, I thought I had to be 100% motivated all the time. I believed I had to follow everything perfectly, no slip-ups, no setbacks. But the reality? That's impossible. We are human. We have good days and bad days. We go through phases where we feel highly disciplined, and others where all we want is to curl up with a tub of ice cream. And that's okay. The problem isn't having a treat on the weekend or eating a little too much at a holiday dinner. The problem is punishing yourself for it and then giving up completely. When I understood that life works in cycles and that the most important thing is to always find my way back, everything changed. In the winter, I felt less motivated to work out. Instead of forcing myself into exhausting workouts, I started doing lighter activities like stretching and short walks. In the summer, I naturally craved lighter meals. Instead of forcing myself to eat heavy meals, I listened to my body and enjoyed fresh salads and fruits. At parties and events, I stopped being the diet freak. I learned to enjoy myself without guilt or excess, and the next day, I went back to my routine as usual. More than that, I realized that my own body had cycles. As women, there are times of the month when we feel energized, ready to train, and full of motivation. And there are also times when all we want is chocolate and a warm bed. Before, I felt guilty for having lazy days. Now, I accept it. It's not weakness. It's not lack of willpower. It's biology. And the most important part? When you respect your body, it responds better. If I woke up with zero energy, instead of forcing myself into an intense workout, I chose a gentler movement. And the next day, my motivation came back naturally. If I felt hungrier during certain phases of my cycle, I allowed myself to eat a little more but with mindfulness. What used to be a cycle of guilt and restriction turned into a cycle of balance and intelligence. You don't need to fight against your body. You just need to understand it. And when you learn to flow with these cycles, weight loss becomes effortless and stress-free. Conclusion: the long-term game. If there's one thing that completely changed my mindset, it was understanding that weight loss is not a destination, it's a journey. For years, I chased quick fixes, short-term diets, and miracle solutions. And where did that get me? Yo-yo dieting. Frustration. Looking in the mirror and not recognizing myself. But this time was different. I stopped looking for shortcuts. Instead of a quick fix, I created a new lifestyle. I changed my daily routine. I restructured my mindset. I built healthy habits that I now do effortlessly. And guess what happened? I lost 12 kilograms, 26 pounds, and I never gained it back. Yes, sometimes I gain a pound or two, but I don't panic anymore. Because now I know exactly how to get back on track, without suffering, without stress. And that's the key to the long-term game. It's not about losing weight in a month. It's about being healthy, full of energy, and loving my body at 50, 60, 70 years old. Today, at almost 44, I feel more beautiful, stronger, and more confident than I did at 20. And I know that at 50, I'll feel even better.
Because now I play the right game.
The game of balance. The game of consistency. The game of freedom. And now I want to teach you how to play this game too. This protocol contains everything I did and so much more. No crazy diets. No suffering. No yo-yo effect. Now it's your turn. Are you ready to transform your life? Then let's do this together.